Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time it's a fall harvest inspired house. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it or what I'm going to call this house, but it's very cute. It's 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, so it's not a very big home, but there is this sunroom extension on the back of the house that you could definitely turn into another bedroom if you would like to have a bigger family living here. Of course, you could make kids share a room, but I decided to make it for a single child sim, or preteen is kind of what I'm thinking. I've been building quite a few bedrooms recently that I've imagined preteens living in, but unfortunately we do not have that life stage in game, and that's been something that I've heard some people say that they don't want, but I, for one, I would love preteens. I think that would be so cool because I feel like there's such a huge gap from a child sim into a teenager. They go from being like 8 years old to being like basically almost an adult, like 17, 18 years old. And I think that's too big of a jump. But either way, that's what I was thinking for that bedroom, and it's very cute. I was very heavily inspired by the upcoming Realm of Magic pack in her room, or his room. I was kind of thinking a girl, but of course you could have a boy living in that room if you would like to. But I am so excited. I finally watched the trailer this morning. I was avoiding watching it because I wasn't sure if I was going to do a reaction video. I haven't done one of those before, and since I'm so late, I figured I probably would wait until another trailer. So yeah, I don't know. I figured there's probably already so many of those videos out that you guys didn't need to see another one, but I'm thinking about doing an apartment or some room builds inspired by the upcoming pack. It's going to be coming out to PC on, I think, the 10th of September, and I wanted to mention to you guys, I'm actually not going to be here when the pack releases, and I am so disappointed, and I'm not going to be able to share any content till after the 20th of September, so I will be a few weeks late, or a couple weeks late, something like that, since the Game Changers will be able to release stuff early. Yeah, I'm going to be a bit behind on it, and I'm really disappointed, but my trip is already set in stone, and of course I'm really excited for my vacation. My husband and I are going to Europe for about 2 weeks, a little bit longer, I think. No, about 2 weeks. So I will be gone, and I'm definitely really excited for that vacation. It's something that we've been planning for a long time. It just happened to be kind of bad timing for the new pack, but of course, as soon as I'm home, I will be making tons of stuff. So over the next month or so, definitely leave your guys' suggestions for what you want to see me build with the new world, with the new items, everything. I am so excited. I cannot wait to build things that are a bit more magical. And if you can hear my cat, she is laying on my desk and she's laying on top of papers. So they keep kind of rustling around. So if you guys can hear that, I am sorry, but I'm not going to make her move because she's too cute. And I have been out of town, and I've missed her. She's been a little bit extra clingy because she's very affectionate, and she had missed me because I went away for a wedding, and this month has just been crazy because, as some of you guys probably know, I went away to Houston, and then I went back home for a wedding, and then in a couple weeks I leave to go to Europe. So it's a very busy time, and so videos are going to be all over the place. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited though. All great things, but I do miss making videos and having kind of more of a steady schedule. So within the next month, things are going to be a bit more crazy too. And I haven't done a voiceover again in over a week or two. So it's been a little bit difficult for me to start doing voiceovers again. I tried voiceovering this video earlier this morning, and as always, whenever I take a break, it's so hard to get back into it. It's such a difficult skill, and it's always the hardest thing I have doing, but hopefully this time will go all right. But as you can see, the shape of this house is starting to come together. It is so adorable. I really wanted it to look a little bit witchy. I didn't want it to be a house for a witch necessarily, unless you guys wanted to play that way. I just wanted it to look very harvesty is the only way I can think to describe it. I'm not really sure if harvesty is a word. I probably should use the word autumnal, I think would be the better way to describe it. But I wanted to use lots of browns, reds, oranges, and greens, especially on the interior. And I think the exterior is very cute. You can ignore what I'm doing with the fence here. I was trying to be a bit creative. My cat's moving again. Sorry again if you can hear it. But yeah, I was trying to be a bit creative. I don't think it looks that good. I was trying to make the house look like it was really elevated, and so I wanted the fence to feel a little bit elevated too. and I don't think it really worked out. So I do get rid of that later on and just kind of line the lot with some bushes and lots of plants. I may have went too overboard with this build. And there is so many plants. It's kind of crazy, but I absolutely love it. I feel like every time I take a break or I go on a trip or I'm away from building for whatever reason for a while, the first build that I do back has way too many plants. So if you guys, don't really like plants in The Sims, then you may not like this build, but if you don't, why don't you like plants? They're amazing. Either way, here I am building the back of the house. So you can see there's that sunroom. So if you do need more space, you definitely have that room to work with. I decided just to make it like a family room. So I put a dollhouse in there, an art easel, a chess table, and I think a little seating area. So it's just more of a nice quiet room for your Sims to hang out and spend some quality time together. So I thought that was really nice. Here I am trying to switch up the fence. I did cut a lot of this out. I messed with the fence so much. I went through a lot of the debug objects trying to create my own fences, but nothing was just really working out the way I liked it. So yeah, I will replace that here in just a moment, but I'm just adding another dormer window to the back of the build, putting some flower boxes, and I think the house is just so cute, and I think it looks so different to anything that I've built before. And I built this here in Newcrest, and it's not for my save file. I have started building in this area for my save, but the reason I haven't gone back to it is because I'm not really sure if I'm that happy with the way the houses are looking. So let me know if you guys remember the builds that I've done here, and I can link them. I'll try to remember. If I do forget, remind me. But if you guys are aware of the houses that I've built here, let me know if you guys like them. Do you think I should continue with that style, or should I start over? I've only built 2 here, so it's not that big of a deal if I do start over. Maybe I'm overthinking it or being a bit too picky. So let me know. I need your guys' opinions because I'm not sure what I want to do exactly. Because I don't know, should I do something more like this? Because I think this is really cute and looks charming, but I kind of want them to look more like the other houses in Newcrest. I think the reason I'm having such a problem with them is they look too similar to one another. So maybe if I separate them and maybe make a lot or 2 in between the houses and then do something a little bit different in between them, it'll look more balanced out. I don't know. Let me know your guys' opinions because I'm not exactly sure what I should do, because I definitely need to get back into finishing Newcrest. And then I have the whole downtown area by the waterfront that I need to work on, and that's going to be all of the community lots. So I have lots of work to do, but I definitely am going to be doing a lot of pre-recording over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to try to be working a lot more on my save file, because this month, since I've been gone so much, has really put me kind of behind on the progress. I was getting so close to getting a lot more finished, but I'm kind of set back, so I definitely have a lot that I want to work on over the next few weeks, and we'll be sharing with you guys over the next couple of months. But here you can see I am working on the landscaping, and here especially in the backyard I go so overboard with the plants, but it looks so pretty. I was really inspired by the surrounding areas and using a lot of those live edit objects from the debug menu. So I used some of these hydrangea bushes, some of these bushes with like the reddy pink flowers. I thought those were really cute. And then I incorporate a lot of greenery and a lot of these trees that I thought looked so pretty. I think the trees that I used mostly anyways are from the surrounding areas, mostly on the island in Windenburg, I think is where you can see them. And I think some of the countryside too, but I thought they looked so pretty here, and it just feels so lush and overgrown, and I absolutely love it. I decided to line the lot also with these planter boxes. I thought that looked really cute and kind of different, and I just had a lot of fun playing around with the landscaping, and I think it looks so nice. In the backyard, I really didn't have a whole lot of space to add things, so I just ended up placing a few planter boxes back there. I place a bee box, and then also the scarecrow. I forget what his name is called, but it's the one that came with seasons, the only scarecrow that we have in game. So I place him back there later on in the build, and I think it looks really nice, but no playground equipment. But since we have that sunroom where I placed the dollhouse, I feel like that's kind of the playroom. And you could definitely add more stuff in there too, because there's tons of room. There's like a whole open area in the center, so you could add like the building block table, or maybe like a Don't Wake the Llama or some sort of game. I think would be really nice. And yeah, I just absolutely love this house. I thought it was so much fun. It was like the first thing I wanted to build was something so autumn inspired as soon as I came home. And it's still like 100 degrees here every day, which I think is about 40 degrees Celsius. So it's definitely not autumn. There are no leaves falling. It's not cool. But when I was back home, it got a little bit cooler at nights, and I wore like pants one day. So I felt so like autumn inspired, and I think that's why I wanted to build something like that. And plus it's almost September, and I feel like once it becomes September, even if it's still hot outside, it's basically already winter or fall or autumn. But here you can see I am adding some pumpkins. I add a lot of pumpkins in this build. I wasn't necessarily trying to decorate for Halloween, but the pumpkins made it feel a little bit Halloween-y, and I just absolutely loved it. I placed some lanterns around, and I think they look so cute. I especially like the ones that are like puking out their own guts. I think they're so adorable. So I placed a few of them around here at the front, and I do the same in the back. I really struggled with the pathways in this build. As you can probably tell, I tried so many different times, but I want them to look kind of curvy because I was looking at a bunch of different pictures for inspiration. I made a new board on Pinterest trying to figure out exactly what I wanted this house to look like. And a few of them that I saw had these really wavy pathways to the house, so I definitely wanted to do that here, and I think it looks so nice. But there I just added the few different items in the backyard. Like I mentioned, there's not a lot of space, so I didn't try to clutter it up with a bunch of like playground equipment or other things like that. But I think there's a little bit of room if you wanted to add maybe a swing set or some monkey bars or something like that. And then here on the back porch, I was not sure exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted there to be a seating area and a few plants, so I add a few things now. I was trying to get a bit creative with these barrel planters and then this tree that came from Seasons. I was trying to merge them together, and I think it looks okay, but I do end up getting rid of it and replacing it for a different decoration later on. And then there I placed the trash can. Not that exciting. I'm not sure why I'm mentioning it, but I kind of struggled with where to place it, so I just put it there by the back steps. I think it looks all right, but you could of course move it if you don't like it there. But here I'm just adding a few more jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins around. I am so obsessed with them. I feel like I'm going to add them in every single build. Maybe I'll just build in the autumn season, like in game for until Christmas. I feel like that's what I want to do. So if you see more autumn themed builds, then that's exactly what I'm doing. But here you can see I am moving on to the interior, working out the floor plan. The bedrooms and the bathroom like came together so easily. I wasn't really sure if I was going to like the main living area of the house and the kitchen and dining, so I do place a few objects just to kind of get an idea of how they will look. But you will notice that while I was working out the floor plan, I do have to extend part of the house. So I made the living room area a little bit bigger, the front bedroom, and then also the sunroom. And you guys have probably heard me mention this so many times that I need to work out the floor plan before I finish the exterior, and I feel like I hardly ever listen to my own rule. Thankfully, this time it wasn't too difficult to figure out a floor plan or, you know, fix the exterior and move things around to make it work with what I wanted to do, because sometimes it's like impossible to change the exterior while you're trying to figure out the floor plan, but this time it seemed to work out just fine. But here I am moving back to the exterior, decorating the front porch. I thought this turned out to be so cute, and I make this chair this limey, well not limey, what is that, like a minty green color. I decided to use it a whole bunch. I use it in the dining room, and I don't think I've really used this color enough, and I loved it here. I felt like it totally worked for this Halloween fall inspired type build, and I thought it was so cute. And then I make this little seating area here in the back with a few decorations on that table. I thought that looked really nice. But here is when I decided to get rid of those decorations I was trying to do, and I just add the same flowers that I did on the front porch because I just really liked the way they looked. And then now moving on to the interior, I decided to use the floorboards that came from Jungle Adventure. At first, I wasn't really sure if they worked with the orangey tile and then the wallpapers that I wanted to use, but then I decided that I kind of feel like it brings out the greens and the different tones in the floorboards. Hopefully you guys like it, because I wasn't sure if they kind of clashed, but in the end I'm really happy that I left them, because I was going to make them a brown color, but then it felt too brown, if you guys know what I mean. So I decided to leave it alone, and then I'm bringing this chair onto the interior, and I use a round dining table because they're my favorite and I can't help myself. And I put some decorations up on the table, and I just felt so it just felt so cute. I was actually looking on Pinterest at all of those like different DIY seasonal decorations, like on my personal Pinterest. And I really want to be one of those people that decorates for each of the seasons. I really need to start doing that. So I think I'm going to make a wreath. I did one for Christmas and I shared a few pictures over on my Instagram. So maybe I'll do one for fall. Probably not until I'm back though, because I'm going to be busy pre-recording and not leaving my house for like the next 2 weeks and getting prepared for my vacation. But as soon as I'm home, I definitely want to do some like fall crafts. I think that would be so much fun. But I really like the arrangement that I made on this table with the candles and then the sunflowers. I thought it was so cute. And then here I'm just picking out some Parenthood cabinets to use in the kitchen. I thought these ones with the orange bottoms and then the black tops worked really nicely for the kind of style and color scheme that I was going for. And then here I did decide to switch out this window for a different one because the window that I was using was blocked too much by the cabinets. And sometimes I feel like it's okay if it doesn't block it too much, but this was blocking like half the window, so I thought it looked strange. And then, just placing a curtain, and I think it looks so cute because I did use this window a few different times in different parts of the build, and so I thought that was kind of nice. And then the stove, I decided to use it in the green color, and I was wanting to use a matching refrigerator in the same green color. But unfortunately, in the Parenthood pack, we did not get the same green on a refrigerator. At least I don't think we did. Maybe I was missing something, but I think there's only like a bright blue. It's not the same. I was so frustrated. I had never noticed that we didn't have a matching refrigerator to that stove before. So it kind of bothered me. So I just used the white one because I felt like that kind of worked out anyways. Yeah, I wish they had matching colors. I'm like so frustrated about it. But here I'm just picking out some decorations to clutter up the counters. I did leave one counter space free next to the refrigerator so your Sims had space to do some cooking. But I definitely wanted this house to feel very cluttered, very lived in, and very homey and cute and cozy and all of the things that I love about The Sims, especially since I hadn't built in so long. I just wanted to go a bit crazy with clutter. And I really like this table that I put instead of adding an island to the kitchen. I put some tomatoes and like some apples and some books. I do end up getting rid of the cookbooks and I think I include those somewhere else. I forget exactly where, but instead I do place a fruit bowl here in just a moment, and I actually use that basket or one of the baskets that we got from Jungle Adventure. You can see it here on the table now, and I sized down the fruit bowl and kind of merged them together so it looks like the fruit is more sitting inside the basket rather than that bright white bowl. And I thought that looked really nice. And of course I had to add another pumpkin and I put that on the table. And then I do clutter up these shelves just to add a bit more clutter and decorations. This build took me forever. I actually didn't check to see how long in total, but I mean, it's like a 30-minute video. Well, it's 30 now. I haven't added the screenshots in, so it'll probably be like 32 minutes or something like that once I add the screenshots. But I just spent so much time cluttering that it took forever because it's really not that big of a house. I think this size of a house should probably take maybe 3-4 hours, but I think it took me more like 6 is what I'm guessing. It took so long. Then over here I do add a corner shelf and then some plants, and then on the other side I do have a china cabinet that I thought looked really nice. And then I also added one of the new picture frames that we got from the Moschino Stuff pack, so you can add some family photos. Of course, if you don't have that pack, you could of course just have your Sims take pictures and then hang the pictures there on the wall. And we have so many different color options now. I think probably like I actually don't know how many, but I think there's like gray and white and browns and blacks, so you could definitely find one that matches any color scheme that you are doing. But here I am decorating the entryway, and I just have a dresser over here that I figured was just some extra storage, and I thought that looked really cute with the mirror hanging above it and some decorations, some cookbooks, and of course another jack-o'-lantern, and this time the one puking its inside out. I think that is so funny and I absolutely love it. Here on this side I decided to place a coat rack. I ended up using the one that came from Laundry Day. I thought that looked really nice, and I was going to place that stack of books on top of the suitcase, but I didn't think it quite worked here, so I did a coat rack instead, and then a calendar and some more plants because I just can't help myself. And then using the red shelf to place another clutter item, just that little box of stuff. I'm not really sure what that box of stuff is supposed to be. I should probably read the description because I have no clue what it is, but I felt like it just made it feel a little bit more cluttery. And I've actually been getting a lot of questions recently about the red shelf that I use. So it is a CC object that I use just to place items a little bit more precisely, because if you have move objects on, you can use, or even I think if you have move objects off, can you use the 9 key? No, I think you can just size objects up or down if you have move objects off. But if you have move objects on, you can use the 9 and 0 key to raise and lower objects. And it doesn't exactly let you have much control. So sometimes things will look like they're hovering above a surface. So if you use the OMSP shelf, you can have more control over where you place objects. So I have it linked in the description. You guys can follow the link to the download page and read about it. People have done tutorials. I definitely would like to do a tutorial on it myself. I've done a little bit of a tutorial about it when I did my move objects tutorial, because I feel like it goes hand in hand with move objects. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I definitely recommend that you do. But here I'm picking out some furniture for the living room. This was such a struggle. I probably placed every single couch that we have in game. It was a bit ridiculous, but I ended up settling on this couch that we have from base game. I think it's called the hipster sofa, if I remember correctly. But either way, I thought it looked perfect in here. I loved it in the orange color, and then I paired it with these chairs that came from Cats and Dogs. I thought this green and blue looked very kind of magical. I don't know if that really makes sense, but it kind of reminded me of a witch. So I felt like it worked with the style that I wanted to go for. I do end up only leaving one of the chairs in here and moving the couch over. I kind of struggled with it a little bit, so you'll see me shuffle things around and try a few different things, but I end up moving the couch over slightly so I can put a bookcase next to the couch just to make the room a little bit more usable. I mean, I have the TV and fireplace in here, so there's plenty to do. Oh, speaking of the fireplace, I need to make sure before I upload this to the gallery that my sim can actually light the fireplace, because sometimes when I use these larger coffee tables, it blocks the fireplace. So if anything looks a little bit different in here, or if I have to change out the coffee table for a different one, then that's probably why. So hopefully it works just fine, because I don't want to change anything. I think this living room looks so cute. Here I was trying to add some decorations on this windowsill, so I just end up leaving one picture frame. I felt like the white ones just looked a little bit strange, so I delete those. But here you can see I'm shuffling the furniture around. I thought about putting 2 side tables next to the couch, but it was a little bit too cramped. And then I just end up placing a single lamp over here in the corner. And then what I end up doing with the couch is kind of making it a bit crooked, so the bookshelf can fit over here and your Sims can get to it. And I'm so happy that I did, because I think it's kind of fun, and I don't normally place like couches a bit crooked in living rooms, but for this time I felt like it worked so nicely. And then here I just placed some tile in the bathroom, and then I used the same tile in the sunroom because I felt like I should use tile in there instead of doing the hardwood floors. And then here in the hallway I just placed a few paintings and some of these wall hanging decorations. I would love to see more of those wood plaques, because the swatches that we have are really nice, and especially the one with the words on it, I feel like they're a bit more usable, but the other ones are so wintry looking and Christmassy looking that I find them a bit hard to use. But I decided to use the one with the deer because it was too cute, so I decided that it looked fine. And then over here is the master bedroom, and I decided to use this plaid wallpaper, and I don't use it very often, but I thought it was so cute in this green color, and it matched the bed really nicely. It's a very green bedroom, but I absolutely loved it, and especially using that little stool next to the mirror. I thought that looked really nice in here too. I do end up moving the bed though, because I wanted to have enough space to place a computer desk, and I felt like this room would be the best spot to do it. Since it's such a really big room, I felt like to get more use out of the space, it made more sense. So I moved the bed over to the left side of the bedroom next to that window, and then place a desk on the other side of the room. So you'll see it come together here in just a moment. Now I'm just picking out some decorations to put up on top of the dresser. So I decided to merge those 2 flower pots with the sunflowers together again. I've never done that before, but I loved it so much on the dining table that I wanted to do it in here too. And then another jack-o'-lantern puking out its insides. I thought that was really nice. And here is when I decide that I needed to place a computer desk in here. So I placed it here next to this window, and then I placed that chair again that I used in the living room next to it, and I thought that looked really nice, and it kind of matched really nicely with the bed. Even though they're different green colors, I felt like it worked. And then I decided to use this chair. I thought the moon was so cute, and it felt very witchy and very autumny to me, even though it's like blue, and I guess it kind of matches the throw over the chair, but it really matches nothing. But I was so happy with the way it looked. And then I placed a few of these little wall decorations over there on that wall, and then that's it for the room. And then this is going to be the bathroom. It's the only bathroom in the build, and it looks very similar to basically all of my bathrooms. I've been feeling lately that I need to get more creative with my bathrooms, because I feel like I do the same thing, but it's probably not that big of a deal because it's a bathroom. I mean, is it really going to be that interesting? But I feel like some people make like such like cool and creative bathrooms. But I did do something that I don't do very often here next to the shower. I placed a half wall, and I put some clutter decorations up on top of it. So there's like a rubber ducky and a sponge. Even though there's no like toddler in here, I felt like maybe the rubber ducky was left over from when the kid was a bit younger, and I just really liked the way it looked. And I also used some bottles and stuff. But here you can see I'm going into the debug menu to pick out the different decorations that I want to use. So I have the sponge, the rubber ducky like I mentioned, and then also that little thing of soap bubbles for bubble baths. I thought that was really cute, and I just absolutely love the way this area turned out. And then I just placed a towel and a couple of rugs, and then that's it for the bathroom. And then over here is going to be the kids' room, and this is probably my favorite spot in the entire house, or my favorite room, because it's so cute. And I was really inspired by the Realm of Magic pack. Even though I built this before I saw the trailer, I kind of just, what I was imagining the pack to be like is what I decorated the room to be like. So I used a few different objects that felt a bit magical to me. So I used that castle decoration that we got from Parenthood. It's one of the school projects that your kids can build. So I placed that up on top of the dresser, and then I also used that poster that we have from Base Game that looks like a Harry Potter-like character throwing a ball of magic into the air. And then I also used like a dragon statue, and then this rug that we got from, I think it was Outdoor Retreat. You'll see me layer it with this purple rug, and I felt like it looked so mystical and kind of magical and really adorable. So I was just so happy with the way that looked. But there's that poster that I was talking about. I end up moving it above the dresser, and I replace it with that little banner that we got from Get Together that has a book on it. You'll see it here in just a moment, but I thought that looked really nice because I also wanted the kid that lived in this room to really be into reading. So I also placed like a stack of books on the floor and some book decorations up on top of the dresser, just trying to make it feel very cluttered and lived in. But here you can see I'm layering up the rugs. So this is the one that I was talking about. It looks like there's some like wolves or something like running through the forest and like a starry night sky. It's very cute and very magical looking to me. And I also really liked using this chair with the star on it. I felt like that kind of tied into the theme I was going for. And then here I'm just picking out some more decorations to put around the dresser. So I put a few posters and random decorations around it. I also placed the bulletin board in here, and I put a few postcards on it. And we have some that kind of looked like it suited the theme that I was going for. There's one that looks like a scarecrow, and then one that kind of looks like a night sky. So I felt like that looked really nice. And then I also placed that dragon statue next to the bed, the little wooden statue. And then also, so I go over here to decorate this sunroom, and I found, about the time I was done decorating this, I found this statue that we got from Cats and Dogs. It's like this purple owl thing. I always forget about this object, but I placed it in the kids' room because it looked perfect. I was so happy that I remembered it, or that I found it. So you'll see me place that in just a moment. But here you can see I'm decorating the sunroom. I put a bunch of fairy lights around. I also placed a few activities. So I have the chess table in here. I placed a few plant decorations, a seating area. I also end up including the art easel, and then this little castle dollhouse I thought was really cute, and then a piece of artwork on the wall. But that's basically it. I mostly wanted to leave this room open for different sort of family activities, but this is the owl that I'm talking about. I'm so happy that I found it. It's absolutely perfect. But this is it for the build, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and hopefully you guys do enjoy the screenshots. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!